Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my reaction videos. So today I'm going to be reacting to the new episode of Death Battle which just came out, which is Evil Goku versus Bad Flash. I am super excited for this episode. You guys know that I'm really hyped for this episode. I really like both of the characters. I like the fight dynamic. I really like all the connections that these characters have. I think that if Death Battle really pulls through with this one, we're in for a real treat. It has a lot of potential, and I'm just excited to see what this episode has in store for us. I actually made this episode, or this fight, into one of my own Versus series episodes, Who'd Win and Why, a few months ago, because again, I really like the fight idea, and Death Battle did it just a few months later, which I think is actually pretty cool. Now, if you've seen that video, or my prediction video for this Death Battle in particular, then you'll know that I think that Reverse Flash would win this fight, and I'm pretty darn confident that he's gonna win this Death Battle. He just has a lot that Goku Black really can't keep up with, a lot that Goku Black really can't counter. The speed, for one thing, the speed gap alone is really just enough to make sure that Goku Black really can't hit Reverse Flash, especially when you factor in stuff like, phasing his body to become intangible, phasing his body to become invisible, the kinetic energy stealing, etc., etc. That really just proves that Goku Black has no way to land anything on Reverse Flash. Even though Goku Black is extremely powerful and extremely destructive, he really doesn't have anything that can bypass any of that, And also, Reverse Flash just has a ton of hacks that Goku Black really can't counter or protect from or anything like that. Of course, he has this kinetic energy stealing, as I mentioned before, but there's also stuff like phasing his hand through an opponent's body, which can scramble organs or just blow up the opponent, and a bunch of other stuff. He can hypnotize people, he can absorb memories, he can do a bunch of crazy crap. And of course, there's also the infinite mass punch, which he can just keep vibrating his fist, increasing the mass as much as he wants, because again, Goku Black really can't hit him. So there's nothing stopping him from doing that, And just based on the way that the DC universe is structured versus the way that the Dragon Ball universe is structured, realistically, Reverse Flash should be at a much higher level in terms of power and durability, especially when it comes to like Flashes. The Flash characters are some of the strongest characters in the conventional DC universe. And yeah, the DC universe is just much bigger than the Dragon Ball universe. The multiverse itself, would of course be way bigger than that. And these are characters that have affected all of that before at some points, Whereas Dragon Ball characters can't really say the same thing about their own multiverse or their own universes, plural, etc., etc. Just what the Flashes have done in their own universe is just more impressive than what you'll find from the typical Dragon Ball characters. So I'm pretty sure that Reverse Flash is going to win this one. Death Battle could surprise me, but until they do, I'm going to go with Reverse Flash for the win. Hopefully I'm right. I do really like both of these characters. I just personally think that Thawne is just more powerful and has more up his sleeve. It is interesting, though, because no matter what happens, some pattern is going to be broken, because if Goku Black loses, it'll be the third time that a Goku has lost on Death Battle, and it will be the third time a Flash has won on Death Battle. But with that being said, a DC character hasn't won a Death Battle since, I think it was Wally West versus Archie Sonic, which was over a year ago, and Dragon Ball hasn't lost a Death Battle since Goku versus Superman 2, which was like, 6 years ago? So either way, some kind of pattern is going to be broken, but that doesn't really matter too much to me. I'm just excited for this episode. I think it's going to be really fun. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on with it.
And to celebrate,
let's skip ahead a little bit. Here we go. Okay, time for a death battle.
Goku Black, the body-stealing arbiter of divine justice.
Yep.
And the Reverse Flash.
And I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot about these characters too, even though I did familiarize myself pretty well with them. There's still a lot more to know.
Trying to kill your superhero husbando.
Exactly.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor.
These characters actually have so much more in common than just anti-versions of iconic heroes, It's really cool.
The thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream of with all the time in the world? In Zamasu's case, his one goal was divine justice.
Yep.
This guy's got major Final Fantasy big bad energy all over him. As the assistant to Universe 10 Supreme Kai, Zamasu prized above all else cosmic order and natural beauty.
And that's why he hates humans.
Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
No, we don't need to see that, Boomstick.
Despise the inherently chaotic nature of mortals.
Yeah.
Seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence and stupidity, like some people.
I mean, to be fair,
those people too.
humans aren't that great.
Until the the day he met Son Goku. With God Ki, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the entirety of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least
which is huge, yeah.
larger than our own universe. At most, it could even be as large as 13 times greater than ours. As a side note, it's worth mentioning that when two gods of destruction fought, they were capable of casually destroying two of these universes. And since the shockwaves
two of those universes, so okay, that's a lot of stuff you're destroying.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God form for this, though clearly not at its full strength. While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama himself has directly compared it to the original Super Saiyan form. And don't forget, Goku,
well, that does make sense. He's mixing the Super Saiyan form with God Ki.
Zamasu caught up with him, so by that time he was way stronger. Here was a mortal with the powers of gods beyond even Zamasu's abilities. Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition. So Sammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Kai. Wish on the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku. And kill every single mortal in the universe. And thus the deity Zamasu.
It is really scary because Goku is such a nice guy.
Please, Goku Black, you
but like, if he ever turned evil or if this ever happened, like, that is really scary with all that power.
Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but wielded by a genocidal maniac.
Exactly, yeah.
Lovable goober of a monkey man. And in keeping with Goku's Saiyan heritage and God,
kind of like evil Superman, you know. That is a scary thought.
Form of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, but with a champagneful twist.
Super Saiyan Rose. Yep.
Rose, really? What is he, a suburban wine mom? Watch out before he unlocks Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love!
Oh, jeez.
Techniques, too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to teleport to their location. He's even got the Black Kamehameha, which is a Kamehameha, but pink. And with his Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill. Which really sucks for the rest of the universe.
Yes, every time he almost dies, though.
Snapped one day and used his powers to their full murderous potential. Like the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a keyblade to slice you to ribbons.
Yeah.
He used this very technique to, kill Goku's family.
Yeah.
He can even extend this keyblade into a huge curved one called the Azure Dragon Sword, which, along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind. Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the Desert Bandit Yamcha. Wait, what?
Yamcha?
Then slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones. Black, not Crater Boy over here. But his most dastardly weapon isn't a key technique at all. It's the time ring he got from his dead master. This ring allowed Black to travel through time, and even escape into future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he had free reign over the entire universe. And let him team up with his best bud, himself. Too bad Goku and company showed up to spoil the fun. But wait, isn't Zamasu in Goku's body? How are there two Gokus? There's only one Goku in the multiverse, right?
Well,
but Goku
I'll let Wiz explain it.
Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came.
Maybe he's trying to figure it out too.
He killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What the hell is going on? Sure, it's a classic grandfather's paradox.
Yeah.
The thing is, Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline.
Yes.
So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa. He's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he still exists at another point in time.
The problem, though, is that Reverse Flash is like the exact same thing, except better.
Oh, God, I hate time travel.
So, you know, that's something I forgot to bring up at the beginning, but even that's not a reliable method of stopping Reverse Flash.
With the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here. It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed to fail. His quest for power meant nothing against a being that would always be stronger no matter what he did or who he was. And the universe ended up being destroyed anyway. It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh. You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
Okay, pretty solid rundown, but now on to Thawne.
Barry Allen, the Flash.
I knew it. I knew it.
The greatest heroes in history, an inspiration to many across time and space. And there's no better example than his #1 fan from the 25th century, Eobard Thawne.
Yep, that's how it started, at least.
We've tackled a lot of stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle, but I'm confident that Eobard is the dumbest f***ing first name.
I have to admit, when I first heard the word Eobard, or the name Eobard, I'm like, really?
Obsessed with the Flash and dedicated his whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd. Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But Thawne's
until, yeah.
discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain Barry's costume. By experimenting on it, Thawne managed to replicate the Flash's powers, turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai showed up in the future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until Barry realized that Thawne had fabricated crimes in order to show up and
Yeah.
save the day. Disgrace,
For someone who
Thawne
hadn't
promised
gone
Barry
mad
something
yet,
to
that's
travel
pretty
to the past
bad.
and prove his worth to his hero, to prove that their bond was special.
That's when Thawne found out that Barry already had a best friend, and
Yep.
a family, and a life. Without him, he didn't matter. He wasn't special.
Well,
he was just a
not in
nobody
that
Barry
way.
tossed out in the trash and forgot about, like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only.
Aw,
When
sorry,
Thawne visited
Boomstick.
the Flash Museum in Barry's time, he discovered the secret identity to Flash's
Here we
greatest
go.
enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thawne. Wait a minute.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? The shock drove Thawne mad. If he couldn't be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy.
Yeah, AKA
And
Professor Zoom,
I
but
guess
not
also
Zoom. That's a
ensure
different
his own
character.
future death.
He would travel from the
Likes and
to
dislikes are all
terrorize
Barry
the Flash
Allen. I love that.
Revenge in reverse. He'd become the Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash. We're really setting the world on fire with these names today. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Thawne draws his powers from the negative Speed Force, which he generates with every step he takes, just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force.
Yeah.
The negative Speed Force gives Thawne access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending super speed, enough to travel all across time and space in days. He can keep up with and surpass other speedsters like Barry and Wally.
Who once ran fast enough to cross
Wow,
the
they're really
universe
getting into
faster
the,
than
like, higher-end
gods
stuff,
who could
huh?
teleport. Wally even beat himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thawne was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself?
Wait.
That doesn't even make sense.
But unlike Barry and Wally,
Nothing makes
Thawne
sense.
applies his
It's
powers
comics.
more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for
Yeah.
instance, his ability
Like
to
Evil
vibrate
Goku,
himself
Evil
through
Flash
solid
is really
objects.
terrifying.
Subjects like, say, vital organs. And if he did, he'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thawne
Yeah.
did just that to Barry's wife, Iris, and Barry did not appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thawne's vibrations are so powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-tier speedsters like Jenny Ognats can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing up the entire multiverse.
Thawne can create shockwaves.
Again, this is a
that snap,
huge
phase into your
multiverse.
body and possess you.
Yeah.
He can speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts.
Yes.
And instead of stealing your speed,
That's what I was
like
saying
other
before, like
plugins,
hypnotism.
he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thawne can yoink decades from your life and age you 80 years in just a few seconds.
Well, that's how he absorbs
Kinda sounds like your
memories,
sex
yeah.
life, oh, is.
But Thawne's greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel. And he uses this expertise to be as petty and cruel as humanly
Yes.
possible.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream too. So instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard
Exactly.
as he could. Push him down some stairs. Retcon his best friend from
Kill his
history.
mom?
Kill his mom?
Yeah.
He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's another big difference between Thawne and Barry. Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thawne often went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life.
Yeah.
He killed his more successful younger brother, his career rival at the Flash Museum, and every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left.
I know. Yeah,
And
that's
when
just
she still
Jesus
rejected him,
Christ.
He went back in time again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that
Christ,
especially.
This guy's a monster.
Like, yeah.
Liz, that's impossible.
At that
Grant might
point,
be
you're just
paradox or whatever.
irredeemable.
If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means
Which means he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Living paradox.
Maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the incomprehensible world around him.
Well, that's one theory, yeah.
Inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected from it.
Yeah.
So Thawne essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time itself.
I love how crazy Boomstick's going over this.
He became a living paradox.
Yeah, there we go.
Without a past or future. Literally without continuity. Not only did this mean he'd be unaffected by changes to his past, it made him effectively immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman, vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback, or getting Dr. Manhattan.
I was wondering if they were going to bring this up, yeah.
Himself, Thawne was always reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry, whose changes to time could destroy all of reality, Thawne could do whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop, with no reason to hold back.
He survived a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch, which has the mass of a white dwarf star. A white dwarf
at that point, yes.
The remains of a star's ultra-dense
it could go
core,
beyond that,
which has
though.
a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
And he took one of those to the noggin and just took a nap. Man, he must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't hate Barry. All of his schemes, all of his machinations, all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
His costume says it all. He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the Kid Flash. All Thawne ever really desired was to be by Barry's side.
Kind of reminds me of Lex Luthor, how he actually wants to be Superman, you know?
And then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Though not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thawne. He reset his timeline, removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry. Without that, Thawne was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
It's Comics Wiz, he'll be back. And when he does, there'll be no running. He'll always be faster, he'll always catch you, and time is always on his side.
Yeah.
Think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
Really can't, no.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all.
Alright, so
But first, let me tell you how to reverse things in the bedroom.
let's just fast forward.
This episode is sponsored by
let's just fast forward through this commercial.
Medical providers, and so you can plan ahead at checkout. Just pay $5.
Or I'll just wait for this to finish. I doubt I'm going to be talking about this for too long, because my thoughts are still pretty similar to what my thoughts were before. Time for a death battle! Pause. Okay, so yeah, talking about this fight, they really didn't bring up anything that would make me think that Goku Black has anything I didn't know about before that would be able to counter every single thing that Reverse Flash has. The only thing that kind of caught me off guard was them saying that Thawne's living paradoxness, or his living paradox nature, got taken away. But still, that's when it got taken away to turn him back into a normal person. And they're not going to use him as a normal person in this fight. So I'm not sure whether or not they're going to allow him to have that living paradox nature in this fight. I kind of think they should, but I'm not 100% sure now. And with Goku Black, they talked about him as well. If you kill him from one point in time, he'll still exist in another one with the time ring, So, it is a little... I feel like if they really decided to go that route and okay, well, that doesn't apply to Thawne, but it does apply to Goku Black, then, Thawne doesn't really have a great way of killing him, at least not permanently. I guess if you wanted to say, he could remove the time ring, but you wouldn't know about it ahead of time, But still, it's not if they do give Thawne the living paradox nature, it's not Goku Black can just take that away, So if anything, Black's gonna lose that ability. But regardless, I don't want to think about that stuff too much, because one, it's gonna make my head hurt, and two, it's probably not as important as I think it is right now. But looking at these characters, they didn't go too deep into exactly what the numbers were. Well, they did for some stuff, but I feel like for the higher end stuff, they were kind of more vague about it. But again, they really said nothing that makes me think that, you know, Goku Black is actually strong enough or fast enough to be able to contend with Reverse Flash. Because again, they were talking about how Barry and Wally, you know, when racing each other, they were able to destroy the multiverse, so they had the potential to destroy the multiverse, which again is already much bigger than the Dragon Ball universe or any of the Dragon Ball universes put together, you know. So that's already, you know, it shows that a Flash's maximum potential is just much higher than what you could put Goku Black at. And for the speed, they did talk about how, like, you know, Goku Black had attacks that can move faster than light, and they talk about how, you know, Reverse Flash can also move faster than light, but they did also bring up Wally's instantaneous teleportation feat and, you know, beating himself, and Reverse Flash was still faster than that, which again, like, there really is no, like, time breaking or you know, physics breaking speed feat to my knowledge that Goku Black has. At very least they didn't mention it, you know, so I don't see that being any sort of, like, I don't see that really helping out Goku Black that much. And again, just with the hacks, you know, putting aside the whole, you know, living paradox stuff, because again, you know, it's hard to say exactly what they're going to do with that, but putting that to the side again, you know, there's still body possession, there's still hypnotism. I don't know if aging, like, Goku Black is going to work, because, like, is he immortal? I guess, because he's, like, he was, you know, a Supreme Kai, or like a Supreme Kai in training, essentially. He was the assistant to the Supreme Kai in Universe 10. So I don't know if aging him up necessarily would work. It might work, but it definitely would allow him to absorb Black's memories, which, you know, could give him the rundown on all the abilities that Black has, assuming that, again, Reverse Flash wasn't just fast enough to phase through those attacks or avoid them entirely, which, again, I still think he is. So yeah, really nothing about this changed my mind too much. I'm still thinking that Reverse Flash is going to win this one. If Goku Black does win, then that's fine, but, you know, they'll have to really explain it to me, because I'm just not seeing it at this point. I guess they did talk about how, like, Goku Black could, you know, keep up or scale to characters like Beerus, which, you know, destroyed, you know, the potentially 13 times... you know, universe, 13 times sized universe, and how, you know, Beerus and was it Champa who were destroying 2 of those universes, which could potentially be like 26 times the universe, and that would be at, like, the base form of Goku or something, which again they could try to use multipliers and really bring him up to a higher height, which again they didn't really talk about multipliers too much. And saying, you know, 13 times a universe is not a multiplier, you know, because that's just looking at the universe and seeing how much bigger it is than our own universe. That's not a multiplier. But a multiplier would be, you know, using a Super Saiyan form and the Super Saiyan 2 form and, you know, there on out, you know, to say that a character is much stronger, which again, you can agree or disagree with whatever. Of course, it would make sense, though, that Goku Black would still be much more powerful than that, at least to some degree, because the forms are still more powerful. But, you know, again, it's hard to say exactly what they're going to do with that. But I still got to go with my gut. I think that Reverse Flash is going to win. So yeah, without further ado, let's watch the fight. Sorry, I did talk for a long time. Flash killed Quicksilver. Wait, you were the one who what? I actually really like that.
Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice.
Again, see, that's just so scary, just having a Goku kill everybody. And Reverse Flash just wants to stop him, I guess? Or he wants to fight?
Oops.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to cause trouble. I can buy that, though. Looks pretty good so far.
Sir, I'm in need of your services.
Oh my god, he totally does not need to do that, but that is something he would do. Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah. Not gonna work. Ooh, here we go. I'm not gonna remember all of these names of his attacks, but he's got a lot of them, regardless. Oh, Rose already. Whoa, okay. I actually wasn't expecting we'd go this cosmic. But that's really cool. Oh, now we're back on Earth. Okay. Yeah, I guess just destroy everything. But you can get around that. I love the time traveling effects that Death Battle uses. Well, yeah, you know, they both got that trick. Oh, he's gonna make duplicates. Oh. Well, again, that's not gonna work, though. Oh, that's great. Oh! I love that. Yeah, I kind of expected that to happen. Regardless of whether or not I think that would happen, I love how they included that. Duplicates. Make like Speed Mirage clones or something, I don't know. They keep going back and killing each other. Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh! So that's what it is. He killed Quicksilver. That's great. Dude, I love this. I don't even have the words. Ooh.
How truly foolish.
Oh, he took it off. That's what I was thinking, yeah. Well, that's it then, right? Oh my god! Oh! That is so overkill. But that is so Eobard. Oh my god! That was an experience.
This was a fairly tricky matchup to figure out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
Black could destroy a universe like ours at least 660 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass, but that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up.
Yeah.
At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive, they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would figure out a counter to this temporal invincibility first, but it would most likely rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed goes, it's no surprise Thawne definitely had the edge. Yeah, Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thawne is a Flash.
Even early in his career as a member of the Flash family, Wally West could reach speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate.
Yeah.
There are numerous examples.
That's just outside of what Dragon Ball is able to
many
do.
of whom Thawne was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah.
And he could likely overpower Black and destroy said time ring too. After all, Thawne once generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe.
Right.
Which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1 billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the gap here is way too wide to be able to just assume Goku Black could match this level of power. The DC universe is just too big.
Yeah.
And remember, Barry and Wally's
And even if he
race
could,
almost
there's just
ripped
too many
apart the
abilities and
entire
speed
DC
that
multiverse.
Thawne has.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is not Goku. Goku's drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd limits to potentially match higher levels of power. Zamasu took Goku's body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah, and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch.
Okay, so he
may
could
have
do
been
that,
a
yeah.
deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thawne's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not underwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse Flash.
It was me, Barry.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. If you
I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Chad.
Last Laugh is available right now on Rooster Teeth. It's a show
now, before we talk about this fight,
trying their
Let's look at the next
hardest not to.
time.
You'll
We
have
all
your
already know what it
watch the
is,
first
right?
episode right now by clicking the video on the side.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Episode 150. Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man. Yeah, if you've been keeping up with Death Battle and like their announcements and everything like that, you already knew this was going to be the next episode because they said it was going to be episode 150, which is, you know, right after this one. And I don't have too much to say about this one. I will have a prediction video for it. But oh my god, like this, I'm so hyped for it. I really think that it's going to be fun. You know, if the past indicators have been anything, you know, like Chuck versus Segata and stuff like that, you know, just getting into crazy stuff for both of the characters, I think it's going to be great. So, you know, you guys might be a little, like, weirded out by it or whatever. It is obviously a weird fight, but I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But I don't have too much to say on who I think would win or anything like that. I'll save that for a prediction video, which is probably already out based on when this video comes out. But yeah, talking about this fight, I think the thing that really stood out to me for Goku Black versus Reverse Flash was the animation. The animation took so many, like, weird and crazy time-traveling turns that they didn't necessarily have to do, and yet they did it anyway. You know, they really went into what the fight would turn into, like a time travel mess, you know, killing each other or whatever, you know. Again, it is a little hard for me to believe that even going back in time, Goku Black would be able to get the drop on Reverse Flash under any circumstances, because I just think the power and speed gap is too much. But regardless, based on what they were trying to go for and trying to illustrate, I'm perfectly fine with what was shown in the animation. It was just a lot of fun, you know, and even before they did that, you know, I just thought the animation looked really good. I thought the characters were really in character. They were pulling out a lot of the tricks that they had. They really didn't neglect too much in the animation for what they talked about in the analyses. And the analyses as well, I thought were pretty well done. Of course, if you really wanted to get into the higher end stuff for Reverse Flash, and maybe even Goku Black, there is some stuff they could have said that they didn't say. But regardless, they still went into a lot of stuff. They went into, you know, a lot of the power and speed feats that the characters have. They did kind of go into multipliers in the post analysis, but they did what I wanted them to do. You know, they said that Goku Black, of course, you know, in the Super Saiyan Rose form would be greater or would have greater levels of power than, you know, Goku and Beerus clashing, which of course he would. You know, again, whether or not you buy into the multipliers, that is still a stronger form. Saying that it wouldn't be stronger at that point is just incredibly stupid. But yeah, no, they did say that it was stronger, but they said, you know, even if it was like ridiculously stronger, it's still not enough. And I really like how they went into the whole volume scaling for the universes, because they didn't do that in something like, say, Hulk versus Broly, which I think could have made a big difference, just that on its own, you know? So I'm really happy they went into, like, the size of the DC universe versus the Dragon Ball universe, which, again, I wasn't really expecting them to do, since they kind of did not do that before with other Dragon Ball characters. So I think it was really cool that they did that. And talking about the abilities, you know, they really went into how, you know, again, Reverse Flash didn't need to overpower him in order to win. So in terms of the analyses, like, again, there is some stuff maybe they could have gone into more detail with, or some stuff they left out, but that kind of goes for every death battle. They want to keep it simple for people, you know, for the people who know the characters well, but also for people who don't really know the characters well. And with all that taken into account, I can actually say I really enjoyed the analyses on these. I think on these characters, I think they went into a lot of, you know, a lot of information, a lot of the information that was really necessary. And again, I guess it was kind of stupid of me to think like, oh, you know, are they really going to give, you know, Reverse Flash the living paradox thing? Because of course they were, you know, with the whole maximum potential stuff. But yeah, you know, it really comes down to the fact that if one of them is going to be able to counter that, it's going to be Reverse Flash, just based on his intelligence, his greater stats, and the fact that he can actually take the time ring off and, you know, just you know, kill him there, as opposed to Goku Black, who really can't negate a living paradox that's like inherently within Reverse Flash. You know, only Flash could do that. So, you know, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. The outcome makes sense to me. Of course, that's what I was thinking, but the reasoning also makes sense. The analyses I thought were funny. The whole time traveling, trying to figure out that stuff was really funny. I don't know, this one honestly had it all for me. I'm really impressed with this one. I was excited for it. I thought I was really going to enjoy it just because of the fight idea itself, but the execution was honestly honestly everything I could have wanted from it. I'm very surprised to say it, but this might be one of my favorites of this season right now. I'll have to think about it a little more, but I really enjoyed it. But anyway, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.